Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I like all things modular. And what I'm going to be showing off today are a pair of relatively modular kits for the Nemesis that were sent to me by Gyrosoft, who is an absolute mad genius, and I love his work, and I eventually hope to be able to show off more of the stuff that he has sent to me, I've been told, soon. But for today, we're going to be showing off two kits that he has designed for the Nemesis, one of which is eminently and completely and utterly practical and functional and fabulous, and the other is so completely the opposite of that. It is completely absurd and ridiculous, and I love it. So we'll talk about the functional one first. This is a Proton pack adapter. Now, if you've seen my video on my modded Nemesis, which we have here, where I made it so I could refill the hopper from a Proton pack, and that has advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantage is it isn't as reliable, and it doesn't give you one as reliable a feed because the hopper does have a tendency to sometimes jam or not load as well, but it also much more consistent in that the feeds directly in and you've got just a solid stream of rounds. You don't get that from the hopper design, but there are reasons that I prefer the hopper design, but you know, that's not the point here. The point is, this is a kit similar to the Percy's kit, where instead of feeding into the hopper, it simply feeds directly into the flywheel. So you don't have a hopper at all. Proton pack just feeds directly in. And as we saw in the Percy's video, that is much more reliable and much more consistent. So there are definite advantages to it. It looks a little weird not having the hopper and just having a hose go in. It looks much better on the Percy's, and I do plan to build a Percy's that has the direct feed because I really like that. This one I probably won't keep because I like the hopper one better, but I do want to show it off. And it's fairly drop in, but you do have to have modded your Nemesis. This will not work with a stock Nemesis, which you'd have to mod it to make it work with a Proton pack anyway. So, but you don't have to do a whole lot to get this kit in. I only had to take out 3 screws. These 2 right here, and then one that's right here. And you take them out. And you can now get the shell open enough to drop this kit in. So if I wanted to switch to be able to use this, it would be very simple to do so. And then that covers your flywheel plate. Then you could tighten them back down or just thread them in enough so they don't fall out. And voila! This now will feed from a Proton pack, and is actually more ambidextrous than mine because this one can feed from either side. Oh, I missed the screw hole on this side apparently. What is your model? There we go. Anyway, yeah, this is actually more ambidextrous because this one can feed from either side, where my hoppered one will only feed from the left side easily. And this has been modified, so it can be powered by the Proton pack. I just have to plug the Proton pack into this XD60 connector through that hole there, and so that is good to go. And we will take it out, and we will of course test it here in a little bit. But first we're going to talk about the other kit. So I'm going to need to take this screw back out, at least most of the way, so that I can get this kit back out of here. Comes out just as easy as it goes in. There we go. Okay. Now let's take a look at the ridiculous kit. Well, the other kit makes it so it feeds from a Proton pack, which just gives you all the ammo and all the firepower and all the land. This is the exact opposite and the absurd opposite, which is this turns your Nemesis into a single-shot, vaguely muzzle-loaded blaster, which is magnificently absurd. The kit goes in pretty much the same way. You've got your large plate that feeds in right here. Locks in right there. You've got your flywheel cover plate, goes here. And this kit will actually work with a stock Nemesis because it's got this part, which has a little tab, which will engage and deactivate the hopper safety that these have. That's what the other one doesn't have, though. You could technically use this in conjunction with that one, but it wouldn't work properly because you have to have rewired the strife. Anyway, now this is single shot, and it comes with this ridiculous ramrod that looks like a fist and that actually has a storage spot there on the side, and it's now single load. You put the round in there, and then you force it in with this, because you shouldn't stick your finger in there, and it will make it single shot, which is absurd and ridiculous and magnificent, and let's go see how they both work. Right, I'm here on the range with the single shot. I got 5 rounds. We're gonna see if I can hit anything at all. Well, I hit the one behind the target I was aiming at. I'll take it. I got a hit. I hit the other one. I got another hit. Another hit. So you literally load a round in there and then push it down. Oh, missed in the hop up. Took it over the fence, I think. Need to get that tacked back down. All right, swap it over. See what happens. For science, before I go to the Proton pack, here it is with just a hopper, just feeding from a hopper. Not too bad, but you notice the occasional stutter where a round hasn't fed quite right. Let's see what happens when we feed directly from a Proton pack. And now, with a Proton pack. Notice, no stuttering. Magnificent. All right, I'm melting out here. We're going back to the shop. We're going to talk about it. Right, well, a few quick last thoughts. Obviously, having the direct feed does make a difference, though not as big a difference as I saw with the Percy's. The Percy's hopper doesn't have any kind of an agitator, so it tends to be a lot less reliable, whereas the Nemesis has that built-in agitator in the hopper, which helps keep it a little bit better. But there was some improvement using the direct feed. So if that's a big enough difference for you, then this would be a great kit. I'm going to stick with the hopper because I like being able to use it without the Proton pack, in addition to being able to use it with a Proton pack. And this is just a fantastic and ridiculous and silly kit, and I hope to actually use it in a single shots round at some point in the future, because it's just funny enough that I want to do that. So my thanks to Gyrosoft for introducing these awesome things to the world. I don't know if they are currently available anywhere. If there are, there will be links down in the description. I believe there are talks to make this more widely available. Again, stay tuned for updates on that, but this was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that it exists. So stay tuned for more reviews from Gyrosoft, and thank you for watching.